Resilient Jenkins posted a Sunday reset video, so let's talk about it. So in the video that Stephanie posted today, she said that she has done way too many Sunday reset videos in the motel and that she would have thought they would be out of there by now. Now, Stephanie, what makes you think that? Y'all have no reliable source of income. Drew's job that he just started working again is not reliable income. He just started it back. Side work or gig work ain't gonna work. That is not reliable source of employment or income. And believe it or not, a lot of places do not care if you're a content creator or if you make money on social media unless you've been doing it for years, and they have not. Appropriate housing for you and your children is not going to magically fall out of the sky. And when you want things for yourself and for your kids, you're going to do whatever it takes. Oh, not to mention there are 7 of y'all. No reliable source of income. There's 7 of you, and you're doing absolutely nothing to get to that point.
Stephanie, please say you're not cleaning your walls with the water you just mopped with. That is actually crazy. That's disgusting. Now, I think these are flushable wipes and not paper towels, but you're gonna clog the toilet. 1 wipe, 2 wipes, 3 wipes, 4 wipes, 5 wipes, 6 wipes. And now we're gonna clean the bathtub with toilet cleaner. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, buckle up because we're diving deep into some wild TikTok drama today with the Resilient Jenkins family. You know, that TikTok mom of 5 who's turned her motel life into a full-blown content empire. But hold up, before we jump in, quick shout out. Drop in the comments where you're watching from, what's the time there, and if you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It'll take 2 seconds and means the world. All right, let's get into it. So, picture this. A mom with 5 kids, living out of a motel room, sharing every gritty detail on TikTok, and raking in views, sympathy, and allegedly some serious cash from it all. That's Stephanie Jenkins, the self-proclaimed Resilient Jenkins, alongside her partner Drew, or as she calls him, King Daddy, and their brood. Now, I want to be crystal clear right from the start. Everything I'm about to share is based on rumors, alleged behaviors, and what's been floating around online in various discussions and posts. I'm not claiming any of this as hard fact. It's all speculative, pieced together from the chatter that's been buzzing in the gossip spheres. As an independent journalist digging into these stories, I always remind you to take it with a grain of salt, do your own digging if you're curious, and remember that behind the screens, these are real people with real lives. But oh boy, the drama? It's next level, and today we're exposing how this TikTok mom might be monetizing her motel saga in ways that raise some serious eyebrows. From alleged lies about harassment to questionable daily habits, benefit claims that don't add up, and a lifestyle that's allegedly spiraled backward despite the viral fame, we've got a lot to unpack.
Resilient Jenkins kids are never going to be able to stand the smell of pine sol and bleach when they are older. It is literally going to trigger them. And I feel like, I don't know. I feel really bad for these kids. Like, if Stephanie doesn't put them in school, it is going to be beyond, like, cruel to them and keeping them in that little motel room. And you know she's not going to homeschool them. She's not qualified to homeschool someone. She's not a teacher. Unless you're a teacher, you shouldn't be homeschooling your kids.
And trust me, I'll keep it real, witty, and critical without pulling punches. Because if there's one thing I can't stand, it's when family struggles get twisted into content bait. Let's kick things off with one of the most talked about recent incidents. The alleged park harassment story that Stephanie shared, which has a ton of people scratching their heads and calling foul. According to the rumors, Stephanie posted about taking her kids to their favorite park for some playtime. Sounds innocent enough, right? But then she spins this tale of escalating drama that, if true, would be downright terrifying for any parent. She starts by downplaying it, saying she doesn't want to be dramatic and that it wasn't that extreme. Okay, fair, but then she dives into details that paint a picture of something straight out of a thriller movie. Allegedly, a car pulls up close to them, facing right at her and the kids, and starts honking the horn like crazy while someone yells out the window. And this goes on for a full 10 minutes. 10 whole minutes of non-stop honking and shouting. That's not just annoying. That's the kind of thing that could make you fear for your safety, especially with little ones around. But here's where the skepticism kicks in hard. Rumors suggest that despite filming the entire park outing, clips of the kids swinging, playing in the sand, all the cute moments, there's not a single second of this supposed chaos captured. No audio in the background of the videos picks up even a hint of honking or yelling. It's like it vanished into thin air.
I'm going to tell you how I know that Stephanie Jenkins is lying about people harassing and stalking her and the kids at the park the other day. So to start off, at the beginning of her telling the story, she talks about how she doesn't want to be dramatic, and it really wasn't that extreme of a situation, but proceeds to tell a story that if that were to happen to me and my kids at the park, I would say it was a pretty extreme situation and potentially dangerous. So her story goes that her and the kids are at the park playing at their favorite park, and a car pulls up in close proximity to them, facing them, and starts profusely honking the horn and yelling out the car window for 10 minutes. 10 minutes, mind you. She recorded the entire time the kids were at the park swinging, playing in sand, doing all of these things, but did not insert one clip of this car honking and yelling at her for 10 minutes straight. You don't even hear it in the background in the audio of the kids playing, because it doesn't exist.
Then the story allegedly ramps up. After those 10 minutes, she notices the person in the car is on the phone. Next thing you know, more cars pull up, all facing her and the kids, and everyone's allegedly on their phones too. When she decides to pack up and head to her car, these vehicles supposedly start closing in, with one even blocking the exit and honking profusely to prevent her from leaving. It's painted as this coordinated stalking effort, and she's claiming it put her and the kids in real danger. Now, I don't know about you, but if I were in that situation, heart pounding, kids in tow, feeling threatened, my first instinct would be to whip out my phone and record everything. Not for TikTok views, but for proof, for safety, in case things escalated and I needed to show authorities what happened. And allegedly, most parents in a legitimately scary spot would do the same. It's basic self-preservation. But in the video where she's recounting this, there's zero footage to back it up. Not even a quick clip of the cars, the honking, or the blockade.
Then she says, after that goes on for 10 minutes, she realizes that this person is on the phone. Next thing she knows, a bunch of other cars, she said, come to the same area facing towards her and the kids, and they are also all on their phones. She says when she decided to pack up the kids and go towards her car to leave, she realized that of those cars that pulled up, a bunch of them were coming closer towards her and the kids. She even said that one of them went in the way of the exit and impeded her from being able to actually exit the parking lot, was just honking their horn profusely at her. And remember, through all of this, not one single clip of 3 seconds of anything that she is sharing is shown in the video where she's making this TikTok.
Rumors are swirling that this omission is a huge red flag, suggesting the whole thing might be exaggerated or fabricated for attention. Why? Because if even a few seconds of evidence existed, you'd think it'd be front and center to validate her claims and rally support. Instead, it's all storytelling with no visuals, which has people whispering that this could be a classic case of rage baiting. You know, stirring up controversy to drive traffic, views, and ultimately, that monetization. And let's be real, the Resilient Jenkins aren't strangers to tactics that keep the algorithm hooked. Allegedly, Stephanie's no stranger to crafting narratives that pull at heartstrings or spark outrage, drawing in commenters who either sympathize or debate furiously. It's smart content strategy, if that's the goal, but when it involves claims of harassment and danger to kids, it crosses into murky territory.
Not a single clip. Now, I don't know about you, but I know me for sure, and I do not record every hour of mine and my children's lives to post on social media. But if I was in this situation that she is saying that happened with my kids, I would be filming this for proof. Because if the situation escalates, I want proof that what I say happens leading up to whatever incident is the truth. And I'm pretty sure that most people, if they were in this extreme of a situation and felt this much danger like she is claiming, you would have at least turned your camera on to record the noise happening. And this is why I simply do not believe her, because if she were to have even a few seconds to support any of her claims of these interactions happening at the park, she would have included that in the video, but she didn't. Honestly, to me, this totally seems like a cry for attention, or, you know, maybe the money's not coming in like it used to, in a way to get people to her page, because she is not above rage baiting people, and we all know that. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below.
Critics in the rumor mill are saying this park story feels like a cry for attention, especially if the family's finances aren't flowing like they used to. Maybe the views are dipping, or the donations aren't pouring in. Who knows? But allegedly, fabricating or inflating drama like this isn't above her, based on patterns we've seen before. It gets people talking, sharing, and clicking back for updates, which translates to ad revenue and sponsorship potential. But at what cost? If it's all alleged lies, it erodes trust, not just with viewers, but potentially with real supporters who think they're helping a family in genuine peril. Moving on from that park fiasco, let's talk about some of the everyday habits and decisions that the Resilient Jenkins allegedly make, which have gossip circles buzzing with a mix of disbelief and sarcasm. These are the things that, when you hear them, you can't help but think, wait, that just makes sense, in the most backward way possible.
Y'all, I am so, like, hairy freaking ball sack mad because, like, you know, 28 days ago we moved out for the night because, like, we supposed to be doing this shit. And then, like, today it's, like, 28 days and they're like, oh, well, you gotta go for the night. And it's like, I didn't even know that. It's been 28 days, but, like, I don't know fucking math. And, like, every time we go to that other hotel, there's always, like, pee on the ceiling. I have to, like, Swiffer it off, but thank God I got the pee off the ceiling because that was just, like, nasty. But I know y'all gonna make a video about it. You're welcome for getting your bills paid because of me. But I do be Swiffering the walls because it is God's time, and cleanliness be next to godliness and shit. And I did take my babies to the park and cover them in sand because they like that We could shit. Only be like 10 minutes away from Drew because in case I gotta catch him cheating. Y'all come for me saying shit, those are just stickers, they ain't roaches. They are roaches, but that's none of your business, so shut the fuck up. He look, his eyes closed, he tranquil. But then I had to get my babies out of here because it started getting like sus. It was like shit. Someone in their car beeping at us and shit. I heard them yelling some mess, and then some other car pulled up and shit, so we got the fuck out. I'm just paranoid as shit, yo. And then I stuck up the whole damn motel room because I be making things with a lot of spices. Because, you know, I got 2 kids with superior genetics, so they need spices. But don't you worry because I got salt and pepper soup for the white ones. And then, of course, I went outside and made sure I put some water on the ground to wash it and shit. I know I haven't been posting videos of this character and shit just because she boring as fuck. Okay, bye-bye now.
Take, for instance, the rumored culinary adventures in their motel room. Allegedly, Stephanie's been whipping up chimichurri chicken right there in the cramped space, claiming it's all about changing her kids' lives through home-cooked meals. Sounds wholesome on the surface, right? But in a motel with limited ventilation and no real kitchen setup, it's allegedly turning into a smoky, aromatic nightmare that lingers for days. And it's not just chicken. Rumors say they've fried fish or shrimp at least 10 times since moving in. Shrimp, mind you, which has that pungent smell that clings to everything. Imagine 5 kids, 2 adults, all squeezed in, and the air thick with fried seafood odors. It's like they're running a pop-up seafood shack out of a budget motel, and allegedly, it's not doing wonders for anyone's comfort or health.
Chimichurri chicken for my family of 7 for the first time in our motel room. And I mean, this is my first time making chimichurri chicken, period. So here we go. I started by making that chimichurri paste to the best of my abilities with what I had at hand. And also I had my man go to the store for me because I have really bad social anxiety when it comes to the store, but that's beside the point. So I'll list the fresh herbs that I used above to make the paste, as well as the things that I forgot to put in the paste. I did forget to use red wine vinegar, which I'm kind of upset about because I really feel like that would have added an element, just a little more intensity to the flavor, if you will. So also what I did was, since I was going to pan sear these and I really wanted to use drumsticks, I went ahead and like butterfly cut them, or however you said that. I will say I missed an opportunity here because I should have put slits on the meatier side, and that probably would have added like even more flavor to this when I was cooking them and searing them. But that's okay, they still got cooked thoroughly. So did I do perfect my first time making chimichurri chicken? Heck no, but it still turned out delicious and everybody ate it. Nothing too fancy on the rice here. I do wash it prior and then give it a little color before adding the water to boiling. And if you know how to cook rice, you will notice I did leave a little bit too much water. I should have let it cook a little bit longer.
Then there's the park outings themselves, but with a twist. Allegedly, they only go if it's within 10 minutes of Drew, aka King Daddy. If it's farther, nope, can't happen. It's rumored that this stems from some need to keep him close, maybe for support or whatever, but it limits the kid's experiences big time. Why restrict playtime to such a tiny radius? It raises questions about priorities. Are the adventures for the children, or are they curated around adult conveniences? And speaking of evictions, the gossip is that they get booted every 28 days or so, yet they're always shocked when it happens. Allegedly, the motel manager springs it on them, but come on, if it's a pattern, wouldn't you anticipate it? It's like clockwork, but the surprise element allegedly fuels more content. Oh no, we're being kicked out again! Videos of packing up, the stress, the uncertainty, all monetizable moments that keep followers hooked on the saga. One particularly eyebrow-raising rumor involves laundry day. Allegedly, Stephanie takes just one kid to the laundromat, leaving the others to watch the babies while Drew chills with his games, telling the little ones not to cry. It's painted as this efficient division of labor, but critics are whispering it's more about prioritizing his downtime over equitable family responsibilities.
But I got preoccupied with some kiddos and trying to make this video and just doing my mama thing. Yeah. But honestly, the meal still turned out delicious. Everybody ate it up, and it's definitely something we will be making again. Just hopefully next time without some of the mistakes and without the missed ingredients. Someone said chicken still cooking. Nah, not around here, because that shit makes me anxious. I cook my chicken like maybe sometimes even overcook it. Overcook it. The heck? A moment of silence for the asparagus. You can't tell me that wasn't satisfying. Also, I wanted to briefly mention, for those of you that are curious, we do have a high chair and we have had it on hand for a while. I wasn't about to mention when we were going to order it because last time I did that, y'all made sure it didn't get to us.
And then there's the setup for King Daddy's 9 to 5. Allegedly, they've created a whole workstation just for him in that tiny room, ensuring he can clock in without disruption. But wait, is it a real job or something else? Rumors suggest it's gig work or side hustles, nothing stable, yet it's treated like the cornerstone of their stability. Last but not least, there's the alleged fake seizure incident. Rumors claim Stephanie had a seizure, left the hospital, and within 3 hours was deep frying chicken. If true, it's baffling. Recovery time? Rest? Nope. Straight to the fryer. These anecdotes, all alleged, paint a picture of a family where decisions prioritize content creation and personal comforts over long-term well-being, and it's got people roasting them in comment sections everywhere. But let's pivot to something even juicier: the alleged lies about government benefits. In the world of online gossip, the Jenkins have been dubbed contenders in the lying Olympics for this one.
I'm still thinking about how Stephanie Jenkins was like, we are working on buying a high chair, but yet in like the next video or 1 or 2 videos after, she ends up saying, look, the baby does have a high chair, I just like to hold her. What? What do you mean? Because your video and your digital footprint says otherwise. See, she's such a liar. And it's not even becoming entertaining at this point. I'm so like meh when I talk about the Resilient Jenkins, because she's never going to change your life. Like, Stephanie Jenkins is never going to give us anything. She's not going to, put us in our place or try to really do anything for her kids. She's just going to try to milk all the money that she can from, digitally panhandling. That's all she really can contribute. And once it like settles, when people stop talking about her and she becomes irrelevant, I wonder how she's gonna pay her bills. Like, let's talk, because you keep saying, guys, I'm the reason. You owe me a thank you. This is what Stephanie Jenkins is saying. You owe me a thank you because I'm the only reason that you guys are paying your bills. Boo. Like, this is a side hustle. This isn't anything for people. Like, this isn't creators' full-time jobs. Like, people work up in here.
Rumors say Drew and Stephanie have repeatedly claimed in videos that they're not receiving any food stamps or other assistance. They've allegedly painted this picture of pure struggle. We're going to lose our benefits and pay out of pocket for everything. I've spent my whole 30 years financially struggling, doing everything to create stability for my kids. It's a narrative designed to evoke pity, make viewers root for them, and perhaps open wallets for donations or merch. They emphasize how terrifying it is, how they're grinding daily without a safety net, all to build a better future where their children won't face the same hardships. Yet, here's the twist that's got everyone talking. A receipt allegedly posted by King Daddy himself shows they're still on WIC. That's Women, Infants, and Children benefits for those not in the know, which helps with nutritious foods for low-income families.
On today's episode of Lying Olympics, the Jenkins get caught in another lie about receiving benefits. Drew and Stephanie have claimed in several videos that they are not receiving any food stamps or other government assistance.
Here we're going to lose our benefits and we're going to have to pay out of pocket for all of our means. I know we all can't wait for. But personally, I'm a little bit freaking terrified. I spent my whole 30 years of my life financially struggling. And now I spend my every day doing everything I can to try to create financial stability for my children and create some kind of future where they don't have to do the same kind of struggling with their kids.
Another reason for everyone to take pity and feel bad for the Resilient Jenkins, because they're doing it all and struggling. Well, it's obvious from this receipt King Daddy posted himself that they are still receiving WIC. Because they aren't actually married or share a last name, I'm sure they found a way to finesse the system somehow. If there's anything we know about the Resilient Jenkins, is that they're never turning down an opportunity to defraud the government. They can't even lie right, bruh.
Since they're not legally married or sharing a last name, rumors suggest they've found a loophole to finesse the system, keeping the aid flowing while publicly denying it. If there's one thing the rumor mill agrees on about the Resilient Jenkins, it's that they're allegedly pros at navigating or defrauding government programs. They can't even lie consistently, apparently. One video denies benefits, the next slips up with evidence to the contrary. It's comical in a dark way. Like, if you're going to play the sympathy card, at least cover your tracks better. This alleged deception fuels the monetization angle. By claiming no help, they amplify the Go Bootstraps story, drawing in empathetic viewers who might tip or buy into their content more. But if it's all a facade, it undermines genuine families who rely on those programs without the viral platform to profit from their struggles.
I'm just wondering how dumb the people who subscribe to Stephanie Jenkins little subscriber videos feel. Like, do you feel as dumb as we think that you should feel? Because I may be a little late to the party because I'm not subscribed to her, so I have to catch it here and there. But in her last subscriber video, y'all had to listen to her talk about how she has a UTI. What? $6 to hear about Stephanie Jenkins' UTI that she probably got from her cheating baby daddy? I hate the rest of the world missed out on that for $6.
Now, let's talk about how going viral has allegedly made their lives worse, not better. A throwback post from a year ago has sparked this whole conversation. Rumors point to a video where they reflected on their pre-fame life in a one-bedroom apartment. Back then, it wasn't glamorous, but allegedly, there was space to breathe. Room to walk without tripping, a low table for the kids' homework and crafts, counters for prep that weren't on the floor. Fast forward to now, cramped in a 200-square-foot motel room overflowing with stuff. Toys, clothes, gadgets, and it's become a hazard zone.
Is coming from an experienced mom of 5.
Stephanie, you have 4 kids, not 5. Deshawn is not yours.
I tell you, when kids actually live in the home full
And a home is a house, a place where kids have like their own space.
time, it gets messy.
A motel room that's 300 square feet is not a home.
See, for example, Drew had just done this area 2-3 hours prior to me doing
Stephanie,
it, and then it needed to be done again because our kids were up, living their life.
that's the only area. You live in one room.
Yeah, my life is currently a freaking mess.
Not just your life, your kids' lives are a mess too.
Happy homes look lived in.
They're living in a motel room.
They sit and bash other people to try to make themselves look better.
No, we're not bashing you because you're poor. We're bashing you because you're okay with being poor. You're okay with letting your kids live in a motel room. Not just about you, it's about your children too, the trauma.
On the other hand, there's also going to be mamas who disagree with the fact that people can be selling their body and or intimacies
Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments.
Let's go see my kids' filthy, disgusting bed.
And I think that's referring to Morgan,
Let's go.
but at least her kids are not in a kitchen next to onions.
Allegedly, there's no counter space left, so nightlights get plunked on the ground, right where toddlers and babies can grab them. Scissors, same deal, accessible and dangerous. The only table, set up exclusively for Drew's PS5, turning it into his gaming throne while the kids are allegedly relegated to tablets for entertainment. No space for play beyond the bed or couch. It's baffling, the gossip goes. How does viral fame, with thousands allegedly pouring in from TikTok, send you backward into deeper homelessness? Views should mean money, ads, sponsorships, gifts, yet their situation has deteriorated. Rumors speculate it's mismanagement, perhaps prioritizing short-term thrills over savings, or funneling funds into content props instead of housing deposits.
Stephanie Jenkins, why are your feet dirtier than your bed in an apartment? I use the word apartment loosely since it is a one-bedroom everything. You are living in a motel shelter. You could not subject me, or I guess you could say you could subject me to all various forms of torture, and I still wouldn't divulge this type of information and put my life out there. It's not being authentic if you are being dirty. There is a trend going on where there's a lot of moms basically panhandling via TikTok by exploiting their kids, and it's giving kind of a culture moment in our culture's history, how she is encouraging a lot of moms to show how dirty and messy they are for profit. I remember when women would have some decorum and they would have their struggles but persevere. Now women are being independent, or they're under the guise of being independent, while using their kids for sad fishing, which means you subject your viewers, when you are a content creator. Sorry, my husband's in our home gym and I have the garage door open, but whatever. You subject your children to live in deplorable conditions so you can profit by putting their images and videos and your struggles on social media and asking for money, putting your GoFundMe, all of that.
The kids suffer most, allegedly. No room to run, create, or just be kids. It's sad, truly, and has people questioning if the motel drama is being prolonged intentionally for the ongoing narrative. After all, stability might kill the content hook. Who tunes in for We Got an Apartment Boring Edition? By staying in chaos, they keep the views coming, but at the expense of family progress. It's a critical point. Viral success should uplift, not trap you in a cycle of cramped misery. Shifting gears to their recent Sunday Reset video, oh, this one's a goldmine of alleged insights. Stephanie allegedly posted about doing yet another reset in the motel, admitting she's done way too many and thought they'd be out by now. But hold on, what grounds that expectation? Rumors highlight the lack of reliable income. Drew's job, which he allegedly just restarted, isn't steady. Gig work, side hustles, not cutting it for long-term stability. Content creation might bring in cash, but allegedly, landlords want years of proof. Not sporadic TikTok payouts.
Okay, so the math ain't mathin', y'all. Y'all gotta help me out here. So the other day, Stephanie had said that when she's feeding the baby, she does not go outside with the other kids, okay? She said that they're fine. They can go out there and play, okay? And that she goes out there and checks on them every once in a while. But also, she has said that she doesn't feel like the place is safe because
with 7 people in the family, appropriate housing won't magically fall out of the sky, as the chatter puts it. To get there, you allegedly need to hustle relentlessly, applications, savings, credit building, but rumors suggest they're doing the bare minimum, if that. The video itself allegedly shows the grim reality. Stephanie cleaning motel walls with dirty water that gets grimier by the swipe. Why not change it out? It's baffling. There's a little picture covering a hole in the door, cute patch job, but symbolic of the patched together life. Then the bathroom, allegedly, she's tossing 20 pieces of wipes or tissue into the toilet, clogging potential written all over it. Close-ups reveal a space that's horrendous, stained, cramped, unfit for kids. Rumors say it's traumatic for the children, who'll look back on this with pain in years to come. They don't deserve it, the gossip insists. no child should reset in squalor week after week. It's a stark reminder that while the content monetizes the mess, the real cost is on the family's youngest members.
Her iCloud got stolen, and there's been a lot of weird traffic coming around. And then, people are stalking her at the park, and she's afraid of going to the Dollar Tree and all this and that. But she's okay with her kids just going outside in the evenings in the motel parking lot with all these people around that she doesn't know all these people. She doesn't know the people that come in there. But yet she's okay with leaving them out there. But these other things that she said in the past, like the math ain't mathin'. Tell me what you think in the comments, because I guess I'm confused by it.
Expanding on that park story a bit more, because it's such a pivotal alleged lie, let's think about the psychology behind it. If Stephanie's downplaying at the start, saying it's not dramatic, but then describes a 10-minute honk fest followed by a car convergence, it's like she's setting up a reveal for maximum impact. But without footage, it falls flat for skeptics. Rumors suggest she recorded the kids' playtime extensively, so why skip the drama? Allegedly, because it didn't happen, or it was minor, maybe a quick honk misinterpreted. Either way, not including even ambient audio screams fabrication to many. And in a world where parents film everything for social proof, her choice not to allegedly points to attention-seeking. It's clever, if calculated, spark fear, get shares, boost engagement, but it's risky. False claims of stalking could backfire legally or reputationally. Now, let's zoom in on the latest eviction twist that's got everyone scratching their heads and yelling "contradiction" at their screens.
No, because imagine you're Deshaun and you're just chilling with your dad at your house, and it's a little weird. You live in the living room, but you're so little that maybe you don't think about it. And then all of a sudden, all these white people just show up and move in the living room with you. And the new kids are like the star of the show and call your dad daddy. Whether these kids know what's going on, I think Addie knows what's going on, and that she's being not taking. When these kids get social media, we're gonna have a whole nother Resilient Jenkins. And I can't wait for it. Honestly, Addie is gonna ruin Stephanie's life worse than it already is.
Stephanie allegedly dropped a video claiming she had zero clue it was day 28, the mandatory checkout mark for their motel stay. She's mid-laundry plans, soaking clothes in the tub, acting totally blindsided when the manager knocks. Caught off guard, she says, painting it as this sudden upheaval disrupting her day. But rewind just 24 hours, and rumors point to another clip where she's already prepping to leave. She's packing bags, mentioning the need to clean and get ready because time's up, even chatting about the move timeline. Something like, "We usually never know until the day of, but today he said anytime after 2:02. She's got Drew heading out for gig work, herself tidying the place. It's all laid out as if the exit is imminent and expected. So, which is it? Shocked surprise or planned departure? The gossip mill is spinning that this flip-flop is intentional misleading, perhaps to amp up the sympathy factor and keep viewers hooked on the porous narrative. If you're monetizing your struggles, these alleged inconsistencies become plot twists that drive engagement, outrage comments, shares, debates. But it leaves people wondering if the chaos is clouding her judgment or if it's all scripted for the sake of content. Either way, it's frustrating, especially when it repeats the cycle of instability for the kids, who allegedly bear the brunt of these last-minute scrambles.
Just a quick Resilient Jenkins update. On today's live, we find out that Desiree's son that was she supposedly abandoned, I think it's the 13-year-old, lives right next door to our leader. So we found that out on the live today. So the Toothless Wonder has been going around saying that Desiree completely abandoned this boy when it was actually false. Our leader actually spoke to Desiree's baby daddy, the one that the son lives with, and They've been neighbors for the last 2 years.
And speaking of the kids, the ripple effects of these choices are allegedly massive. Viewers aren't just critiquing for clicks. The concern is real about how this constant upheaval, packing, moving, resetting every 28 days wrecks their sense of security. Rumors suggest the children are stuck in this loop of emotional whiplash, with no predictable routines, no stable play areas, just endless transitions that exhaust everyone. It's not hate, it's urgency, because when parents allegedly ignore advice, dismiss help, and repeat the same missteps, it's the little ones who suffer. Stephanie's allegedly had chances for better, temporary shelters, housing offers, but turns them down, insisting it's part of rebuilding. Rebuilding what, though? A home with doors that don't slam shut monthly? Allegedly, she claims she needs time and space, but at what cost to the family? Babies need clean air, consistent meals, safety nets, not this alleged gamble where one wrong move could lead to falls or worse. It's terrifying to watch, and rumors say that's why the backlash boils over. People care too much to stay silent.
So I think, in all honesty, that just tells you I would not mess with Arlita. That woman is protected by the grace of God. So I would be very careful about harmful words that I say against Arlita, because it seems like for whatever reason, whatever Arlita says comes out of her mouth just takes into fruition into the universe. So it sounds like she has God's grace. So, but yeah, people continue to get on this app and make false rumors and lies about Des, when all they have to do is really just listen and pay attention. That's really all they have to do. And that's all they have to do is just pay attention and listen. And more than anything else, pay attention to patterns and behaviors. Patterns and behaviors of people are much more important than what comes out of their mouth. Like this lady here, Stephanie. Her patterns and behaviors are more important than the lies that comes out of her mouth. The only difference is Stephanie's patterns and behaviors all over TikTok. So anyways, I just wanted to spread that along.
Doubling down on that, let's talk about Stephanie's alleged lashing out at creators who dare comment on her life. In one heated video, allegedly filmed at 3 a.m. amid kidney stone pain and exhaustion, she unleashes on those making money off her story like it's a joke. She's tired, frustrated, insisting Drew and she are doing their absolute damnest to build better for the kids, who deserve way better than this. It's raw, emotional, and yeah, living in perpetual motion with 5 kids sounds draining. Uprooting monthly, uncertainty about where you'll sleep next, the physical toll. No one's denying that's overwhelming. But the rumors highlight the irony. She's profiting from the same content, sharing the chaos for views, ads, donations. Allegedly, she drags these creators for using her narrative to pay their bills without acknowledging her own monetization.
All right, y'all, we got paid from TikTok a couple days ago, so you know what time it is. It's time for cleaning with Stephanie. Cleaning. You know what I mean. Anyway, so this month on Cleaning with Stephanie, we're cleaning the walls again. We're doing it. Not sure why, because we clean them once a week, but you know, hey, gotta clean walls, I think. And I'm not sure how much stuff was behind that couch, but I'm pretty sure she got it all. She was back there sweeping for a minute, and that was on like 6 times the speed, so literally and physically.
It's a classic pot kettle situation, and it shifts the vlog from move-out logistics to an attack on outsiders. What started as a potential informative clip, packing tips, motel tours, allegedly unravels into fury, dismissing opinions from those not in her shoes. Fair point on empathy, but when you've publicly rejected help, ignored solid advice like securing stable housing or baby-proofing, it turns sympathy into frustration. The context matters. This isn't sudden hardship, it's allegedly repeated choices, and the kids are collateral in the content war. One of the biggest head-scratchers in the rumor rounds is why Stephanie allegedly passed on a real home offer. Whispers say she had access to a proper place, not another flickering light motel, but a stable spot with potential for roots.
And boy, that bathroom floor is clean, because first we wiped it down with a rag after we cleaned the toilet with toilet paper. And it was called toilet up. Anyways, we wiped it down with a rag, Got that done. Okay, then we poured some Pine Sol on it. And did we wipe it with another rag maybe? And then mop it. And then put another rag down and go over the floor with it. No, wait. She wiped around the floor after she cleaned the toilet, and then she swept. Then she poured Pine Sol on the floor and mopped it, and then she went over it again with some other kind of stuff with a rag. I think I got that right. Anyways, so, you know, another reset, another day in the motel.
Yet, she chooses the cycle, claiming it's about self-rebuild and patience. But critics are asking, patience for what? The environment's allegedly far from nurturing. Infants in outgrown bassinets inches from TV glare. Toddlers too close to screens risking eye strain or overstimulation. Allegedly, she's promised fixes like a high chair after past backlash. But weeks later, nada. No adjustments, just sarcasm. Someone's going to make a video about this. It's not funny. It's alarming. That bassinet could tip with one wobble, sending the baby tumbling. Extended screen time at point blank? Potentially harmful. And when concerns flood in, she allegedly labels it hate or trolling, brushing off legitimate worries as nitpicks. But these are persistent safety red flags, not drama. Neglecting responsibility while filming it all.
The Resilient Jenkins posted their Sunday reset, so let's take a look around the motel room. So as you can see here, Stephanie is cleaning the motel walls, but she's cleaning them with dirty water. Gotta love the little picture that covers the hole in the door. I am just not understanding why she couldn't just change out the water as she's cleaning. That water is crazy. And then we get to the bathroom. Now, Stephanie, what were you thinking? Using like 20 different types of wipes or tissue paper and throwing it in the toilet? I'm not trying to exaggerate. She literally put like 10 or 15 pieces of toilet paper or like wipes inside of the toilet. And here's another close-up of the bathroom. Yeah. It's just sad. It's just so sad for them kids. Those children do not deserve that. It is absolutely horrendous. And in the years to come, it's going to be very traumatic for those kids to look back on.
Then there's the unsupervised outdoor play that's got everyone up in arms. Rumors say Stephanie leaves the kids outside the motel alone, defending it by claiming she knows the neighbors and trusts them to watch out. But hold up. This isn't a fenced backyard in suburbia. It's a low, flimsy 3-foot fence barely separating them from the road in Portland. Allegedly, she thinks it's fine because she knows everyone, but has she run background checks? Knows they're not predators? The internet's full of unknowns, and she's doxed her location multiple times, filming street signs, buildings, making it easy for anyone to pinpoint. With thousands knowing exactly where they are, leaving kids out unsupervised allegedly screams irresponsibility. It's not comparable to other parents letting kids play in safe yards. This is vulnerable, public space where strangers could roll up. And now she's told the world she does this? Rumors suggest it's mind-boggling, putting kids online, exposing their lives, then dismissing risks. Think about the children first, the chatter urges. Fame brings dangers, and this alleged laxness amplifies them. Piling on the hygiene horrors, let's not forget the alleged pee on the ceiling saga. Stephanie claims walking into a new motel room where the cleaning staff left urine splattered on the actual ceiling. Not the floor or walls, the ceiling.
Things that the Resilient Jenkins have done that just makes sense. J-Lump making chimichurri chicken in the motel to change her kid's life. But taking the kids to the park one time, but it has to be within 10 minutes of her King Daddy Drew, or they can't go. Sit in on frying fish at least 10 times in the motel since they moved in. It's not fish, it's shrimp. This smell, bruh. Getting evicted every 28 days, but is always shocked when they have to leave, and it's always the motel manager springing it up on them. Oh, taking one kid to the laundromat so the other ones can stay and watch the babies while Drew gets to play his game and tell them not to cry while he's there. Making sure King Daddy can clock into his 9 to P's 5 by setting up a working station just for him. Hello, any that? Last but not least, faking a seizure and then deep frying chicken within 3 hours of supposedly leaving the hospital.
She and Drew allegedly had to deep clean everything, disinfecting the bathroom, wiping walls, scrubbing the overhead stains before the kids could settle. How does pee even get up there? Physically improbable unless deliberate, and viewers are skeptical. Why not demand a room switch immediately instead of filming the mess? Rumors say this fits a pattern of bizarre cleaning tales, sweeping gravel indoors, mopping outside the room where a needle cap was spotted, now sealing pee. It's all allegedly used to portray victimhood, blaming motels for filth while choosing to stay. But if it's that disgusting and unsafe, why subject the kids repeatedly? It feels performative, a spectacle of struggle that exhausts watchers, with children in the crosshairs. Speaking of patterns, the move-out packing is another alleged overkill. For one night, just bridging to the next motel, she allegedly hauls pots, pans, air fryer, utensils, bags of groceries, small appliances. It's like relocating for months, not hours.
It's so crazy to me the amount of comments like this I get whenever I post about the Resilient Jenkins. I'm going to give you reasons as to why I feel passionately about the fact that she is choosing to post this stuff on social media, and so I and every other creator that covers them has every reason and every right to talk about their situation. First of all, exploitation should not equal entertainment. Turning children's pain, like homelessness, into entertainment is simply never okay.
Why not simplify? Order pizza, grab sandwiches. Ease the load on 5 tired kids in a cramped space. Rumors suggest it's to showcase hardship, proving she's doing her best for sympathy or clicks. But it makes everything exhausting, burdening the children most. And that second AC unit? Allegedly unnecessary in no-space quarters. What they need is a pack-and-play or high chair for baby safety, not more clutter. She sits on her phone all day. Critics whisper, why not marketplace for cheap fixes, ask a church, thrift? These are basics, yet allegedly ignored.
Follow some accounts on here that are also going through a journey of homelessness and trying to get back on their feet, and they show what the adult that is posting on TikTok is doing, but not the children, not the children's faces, not the children's activities, nothing about the children. It is about the adult's journey. That is okay. Also, doing what Stephanie Jenkins is doing sets a really dangerous precedent. If nobody speaks up, it normalizes the idea of parents exploiting their children and their horrible traumatic situations for cash on the internet. And obviously, kids deserve privacy and dignity. These children are not old enough to consent to this kind of exploitation and know what they're consenting to. Also, accountability is necessary. Many times, the public's pressure is the only thing that stops these kind of people from doing this. And also, talking about this situation responsibly is not harassment or bullying. It is simply bringing awareness to a really shitty situation that these children should not be involved in and should not be plastered all over the internet for people to see.
All right, y'all, that's the tea on the Resilient Jenkins saga. For now, because you know this drama's got more chapters coming, what do you think about Stephanie's latest moves and those wild contradictions? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from and what time it is there. And if you're vibing with this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next update. These kids deserve a better ending, and we're all rooting for that. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out!